All right, so we've got this really interesting look at what's happening in Thailand's real estate market right now.
hmm Yeah, it's I mean, it's always been a kind of hot spot,
Yeah,
but it really seems like things are kind of accelerating and evolving pretty rapidly.
for sure. And, we've got some insights here that we're going to dive into that really highlight these three big areas that are kind of reshaping how people are, living and investing over there.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how these things, which seem like pretty different, electric vehicles, changes in living spaces, and then this whole thing with branded residences, it's all kind of coming together.
Yeah, it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump right in. Let's start with this whole EV revolution happening. I mean, Thailand's really making some bold moves there with their 30 at 30 policy. They want 30% of vehicle production to be electric by 2030.
Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive target, and it's interesting because it shows that their government is really getting behind this push,
Mm.
and that can create a lot of, certainty for developers and investors who are looking at this market.
Makes sense. You need that predictability. So we're seeing a lot of investment already. What is it, like close to $2 billion? dollars?
Yeah, around $1.8 billion, and we're seeing major players from China and Japan getting involved. This isn't just, a small local thing. This is becoming a global hub for EV production.
Right. So how does this all translate into the real estate market? Like what kind of changes are we actually seeing on the ground?
Well, think about it. To meet that 30% target, you're going to need a massive amount of battery production capacity. We're talking about over 34 gigawatts. That's huge. And all of that production requires space, infrastructure, the whole 9 yards.
So yeah, big factories, industrial parks, logistics, all of that stuff.
Exactly. And projections are saying that this could create a $6.5 billion real estate market just from the EV industry alone by 2030.
Wow, so the industrial real estate sector is really going to get a boost from all of this. Okay, so moving on from the, factories and manufacturing, let's talk about where people are actually living. It seems like the whole idea of a traditional house is being rethought, especially in these urban areas.
Urbanization is a big driver here. And space is becoming more and more valuable in cities. So the trend is really towards these compact living spaces that are multifunctional. You know,
Mhm.
they need to be adaptable and efficient.
So you're saying it's not just about making things smaller, but making them smarter as well.
Right. It's about maximizing the use of space.
Hmm.
And companies like, Knock Knock and IKEA are really at the forefront of this trend. They're finding ways to blend functionality with, aesthetics so that these smaller spaces don't feel cramped or, unlivable.
It's going to be stylish too, right? So technology is playing a big role in all of this too.
Absolutely. Smart home technology is pretty much becoming standard in new developments. It's all
Oh.
about convenience, security, controlling things remotely. And it goes beyond that, too. We're seeing this shift towards what they're calling personalized home design.
Oh, interesting. So it's like your home is truly reflecting your individual lifestyle.
Exactly. People are
Yeah.
moving away from these cookie cutter designs and really creating spaces that are unique to them.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something a little more luxurious, which is this whole trend of branded real estate. And Thailand is really a leader in this space.
Yeah, they are. The market value is already over THD 106 billion. It's like $5.7 billion USD. And it started with, hotel brands, but now it's expanding to include these luxury automotive and fashion labels.
So you're talking like high-end designer living.
Exactly. Take the Porsche Design Tower Bangkok, for example.
Hmm.
Units there are selling for between $15 million and $40 million.
Yeah.
That gives you an idea of the level of luxury we're talking about.
Yeah, that's a whole other level. So this isn't just happening in Bangkok, though, right?
No, it's
Uh,
definitely spreading to other areas too, particularly these resort destinations like Phuket.
Hmm.
And actually, the insights we're looking at today come from Ocean Worldwide, which is a luxury real estate agency based in Phuket. They've been there since 2004.
Oh, wow. So they've really seen this market evolve firsthand.
Yeah, and Sandra O'Neill, who's the director, she's helped thousands of families and investors over the years. Their focus is on luxury residential real estate in Phuket and Koh Samui. So they're really tuned in to this trend of attracting international buyers and meeting these global luxury standards.
That local expertise is definitely valuable. So looking ahead, what do you see as the big picture for Thailand's property market?
Well, I think the future's looking pretty bright. We're expecting continued growth in both the EV-related commercial sector and the high-end residential market, particularly in places like Phuket.
So it's like these two trends are kind of feeding each other.
In a way, yeah.
Mm.
And sustainability is becoming a major factor, too. Eco-conscious building practices are gaining traction, which is attracting a whole new segment of buyers.
And I imagine technology is going to continue to play a big role. I mean, things like virtual and augmented reality could really change how we experience and buy properties.
Right? And then you've got this growing trend of community-centric designs in cities, which is really interesting. It's all about fostering social connections and creating a sense of community in these urban environments.
So yeah, it seems like Thailand's real estate market is really one to watch. Got this EV boom transforming living spaces and the strength of the branded real estate sector, especially in places like Phuket. It's a pretty exciting time for sure. So here's a final thought for our listeners. Thinking about all these changes happening in Thailand, how might similar forces be shaping the real estate market where you live? It's worth considering those parallels and what the future might hold.
I think that's a great point.
All right, thanks for joining us. This was a really interesting deep dive.
Yeah, it is my pleasure.